We studied about parliament in 8th standard, so I am not going to deal with all the sentences. I am not going to read. Okay, the sum of the points it is given. The report of the Mandal Commission was discussed, and what was the things, how they are making the new laws, in that what all things it is coming. Then the President of India mentioned this in his, and the Prime Minister made a. Okay, the decision was not directly taken in Parliament, but parliamentary discussions on the report influenced and shaped the decision of the government. So the decisions it is not directly taking within one discussion, they won't make any discussion. So many steps are there to make the decision. So why do we need a parliament? For what, when we want to make a good decision, for that purpose we need a parliament. In all democracies, an assembly of elected representatives exercise supreme political authority on behalf of people. Please underline, we know that one democracy means by the people, for the people, of the people. So all the elected representatives, they are exercising the supreme political authority in the democratic country. In India, such a national assembly elected representatives is called parliament. Then legislative means that is the state level government. Please underline both sentences. And the name may be vary in different countries, but such an assembly exists in every democracy. If it is democracy, there will be like that central government as well as the state or provincial governments. That name may be different in different countries. Then what all things they are doing? It exercises political authority on behalf of the people in many ways. First one, Parliament is the final authority for making laws in any country. This task of law making or legislation is so crucial that these assemblies are called legislatures. Parliaments all over the world can make new laws, change existing laws or abolish existing laws and make new ones on their place. Second duty, parliaments all over the world exercise some control over those who run the government. In some countries like India, this control is direct and full, and those who run the government can take decision only so long as they enjoy support of parliament. Third, parliament control all the money that the government have. In most countries, the public money can be spent only when the parliament sanctioned it. Then fourth one, parliament is the highest form of discussions and debates on public issues and national policy in any country. Parliament can seek information about any matter. Then two houses of parliament that we have studied in 8th standard, just we are going through. Then there are two chambers and chambers or houses, and two parts or chambers or houses. Please underline the fifth line. They are called chambers or houses. What it is? The parliament is divided into two parts. One house is usually directly elected by people and exercise the real power on behalf of people. Means the first house, that is known as the Lok Sabha. The second house is usually elected by indirectly and perform some special functions. Please underline that two sentences. The one house, the first house or one house or Lok Sabha, it is directly elected by the people, and second one indirectly elected by the people, and but they are having some special function. The most common work of the second house is to look after the interest of the various states and regions and federal units. That is we are calling Rajya Sabha. Then next paragraph, second sentence. The two houses are also known as the Council of State. The second house, it is known as the Council of States or Rajya Sabha, and the House of the People, that is Lok Sabha. Two houses are there. First house is known as the Council of States or Rajya Sabha, and second one House of the People or Lok Sabha. The President of India is the part of Parliament. Underline that one. President is the part of Parliament, although he or she is not the member of either house. The president is not the part of this what we can say Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, but he is the part of the government. Then That's why all laws made in the houses came into force only after they received the assent of the president. If the president's signature is there, then only the rules come to and exist. Otherwise, it will be just an discussions. Then we studied about Lok Sabha and how they are taking doing like that things already. We said we studied in before chapter. Then what is the total number of members, who elected these members, like these things we know already. We studied that one in last chapter, third chapter. Which of the two houses is more powerful? That is a general question. It might appear that Rajya Sabha is more powerful. We are looking at the state assembly, so they are getting the support of the state, so Rajya Sabha is more powerful. For sometimes we are calling it upper chamber, and the Lok Sabha, that is lower chamber. But this does not mean the Rajya Sabha is more powerful than Lok Sabha. It is not just an old style of speaking, not the language used in our constitution. And we are saying like that upper house and lower house and like that, but we can see some of the conditions. Rajya Sabha, first they are taking the decision in Lok Sabha, then they want to pass that one in the Rajya Sabha, then only they can send to this one to whom president. So we can see like that slight things, but it is not exactly like that. There is no like that much which one is more powerful like that. Our constitution does not give Rajya Sabha some special powers over the states, but on most matters the Lok Sabha exercise supreme power. So who is exercising the supreme power? Lok Sabha. Why? They are directly elected by the people. Any ordinary law needs to be passed by both houses. Both houses want to sit together and want to discuss. But if there is a difference between two houses, the final decision is taken in a joint section in which members of the both houses sit together. Because of the large number of members, the view of Lok Sabha is likely to prevail in such meeting, because 545 members in Lok Sabha and 250 members in Rajya Sabha. So who will get a maximum vote? It will go to Lok Sabha. And what I have sent before this holidays, I have sent the link of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha meeting. If you was not at that one, you may get it how they was conducting the meetings. Then second one, Lok Sabha exercise more power in money matters. Once the Lok Sabha passes the budget of the government or any other money related law, the Rajya Sabha cannot reject it. Only the money matter, when it comes that time, Rajya Sabha cannot can't do anything or they can't reject it. The Rajya Sabha can only delay it for 14 days or suggest changes, like how the Supreme Court is doing or the High Courts are doing, like that they can ask to make some of the modification. Lok Sabha may or may not be accept these changes. They can accept or they can say like that we are not ready to accept. Then third one, most importantly, Lok Sabha controls the Council of Ministers. Only a person who enjoys the support of the majority of the members in Lok Sabha is appointed the Prime Minister. If the majority of the Lok Sabha members say they have no confidence in the Council of Ministers, all the ministers, including the Prime Minister, have to quit. The Rajya Sabha does not have this power. Only Lok Sabha can say like that Prime Minister should resign or the minister should resign, but Rajya Sabha can't do like that. Then the timetable, how they are conducting meetings, like that one page it is given that you can go through. Then next comes the political executives. Okay, that we will continue in next video.